Hi, I'm Paula Ascher, and I'd like to welcome you to online Moodle training class for instructors at Columbia Gorge Community College. This training is intended as a way for you to get started in learning how to use Moodle to create an online class. And it gives you the opportunity to learn about some of the tools in Moodle and also to participate in a class as a student, so you know what it feels like to be an online student. Equally as important as this online training class is, there's a couple of other components that I want to tell you about that are going to be very useful to you as you're creating your class. Most importantly, perhaps, is technical tutoring. We have two technical tutors at Columbia Gorge Community College, Ron Watrous, who's in the library lab at the Dallas campus, and Rob Kovacic, who's also our Moodle administrator. Either one of these guys would be happy to sit down with you one-on-one and go over any technical problems you're having with Moodle. So I would encourage you, as a matter of fact, to get started right away with technical tutoring. If you run into some sort of frustration in doing something in your Moodle class, there's no need to sort of spend hours getting frustrated. Get some help. Yell for help, send an email, and you can find Ron Watrous's schedule in the How to Get Technical Help link in the orientation block in this course, and his schedule's also on our website. And Rob is available also, and you can get a hold of him by email most easily. The other piece, in addition to technical tutoring, it's sort of a three-part training. We've got this online training class, we have the technical tutoring, and also I'll be doing a Quality Matters review of your class. And this isn't intended as like a judgment thing, it's sort of an iterative process where when you're ready, I take a look at the class and make some suggestions, and then we kind of go back and forth about the standards in Quality Matters. And so the Quality Matters rubric is something that you'll run across in the coming weeks in the online training class, and also as this term progresses, as your course gets closer to being finished. Another thing I'd like to talk to you briefly about is something that we might call cognitive overload, and it can happen with some instructors can sort of pick up on this technical stuff very easily by themselves and without any stress. Other people find it somewhat stressful. So I've included in the first week a little document about cognitive overload, because I encourage you to I guess you could say, be mindful of your positive and negative feelings as you're going through this training class, and you can use them to see what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and then it's very likely that those things will also be helpful to your students. So keep track of how you're feeling during this course, and let those feelings inform you about how you're going to design your course so that it's easy for students to use and supportive of them. So please remember to breathe, and one of the reasons we're filming down here on the beautiful Columbia River is that to remind you to breathe deeply and take a break, do something fun. If you find yourself getting a little stressed about this stuff, it can be a little overwhelming at times, but it doesn't need to be. So just as a reminder, we're filming down here to remind you to relax. And so for each week, please read through the materials in the class, and the week sort of ends on a Sunday night. I encourage you to be active in the forum so that we can all learn from your advice, and that you can form a learning community with the other instructors at the college that are participating in this class. For week one, you can settle in by introducing yourself on the introductions forum and read through the book that's called Getting the Lay of the Moodle Land. And be sure to note in these books that there's an index on the left-hand side that can kind of step you through the information in this book. Another important piece is to get going on assignments in week one, you will need your own Moodle shell. So if you don't have a shell for your course, your online course, please email Rob Kovacic right away and have him set something up for you. He will need to know the course title and the number. Well, I hope you enjoy this week's activities, and I really look forward to working with you.